In just over a month, the Ontario 150 Tour celebration of the province's 150th anniversary kicks off in Toronto with Royal Canadian Navy ships, competitive lumberjacks and an American replica of a 30,000-pound duck that's been traveling the world since 2007. On June 30th, the William Lyon Mackenzie fireboat will escort said giant duck to Toronto's waterfront as part of a weekend-long celebration. After that, the duck departs for various points around Ontario, Midland, Brockville, Amherstburg and Sault Ste. Marie. We've been aware of this duck for a few years, Ontario 150 co-producer Lee Parrell says. Tourists and children love it and it's been all over, but it has never been to Canada before. This year, Ontario 150 decided to change that, and Parrell says people can't wait for this duck to come. When the duck arrives, it will have "Happy Birthday, Canada" on its side with room for photo ops and the hashtag #WatTheDuck circulating. Parrell expects it to be a hit. The original world's largest rubber duck was designed by Dutch artist Florentijn Hofman. It and its replicas have floated to New York, Beijing, Baku, Los Angeles and elsewhere in the years since it came onto the scene. The response from the art world has been, at best, mixed, with He Peng, the chief of New Millennium Center for Contemporary Art in Hunan telling Global Times, "I don't think it is a valuable artistic creation to make the larger size of an existing product." And Hoffman is not the first one to come up with the idea to magnify a daily thing. Parrell, on the other hand, says people outside the art world have responded very enthusiastically. However, getting the duck to Toronto's waterfront isn't easy. The province was generous, but, Parrell says, it didn't cover all the duck-related expenses for the Toronto appearance, despite a $130,000 grant from the Ontario government and more from the federal. The committee had to pay thousands extra for the crane and inflation technology needed to set the duck up. The whole giant rubber replica duck tour of Ontario is expected to cost about $200,000, Parrell says, 90% of which is covered by the Ontario Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport. The ministry did not respond to requests for comment. Shortly after Canada Day, Parrell says, the duck will be deflated and loaded back onto a transport truck, traveling to the Morangi Festival Canadiana in Owen Sound for July 7. The Navy won't be joining the duck there, it has other obligations, but Farrell expects plenty to turn out anyways. Finding a space for the duck in Toronto has been a headache. The waterline has risen with spring rain and, though the duck was to be moored at HTO Park, a downtown urban beach, Farrell says the dock at the site is underwater, making that undoable. A company spokesperson said by email they weren't sure what was going to happen to the duck, but, fortunately, Environment Canada came through. It studied the conditions and expects the water level to be back to normal by June's end. Should that prediction prove incorrect, Farrell is confident we would move the duck somewhere along Toronto's 2 kilometers waterfront. When the duck is officially on display, visitors also can hear live music, watch a lumberjack show and check out the open-air market and buy miniature replicas of the replica of the giant rubber duck. Share this on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what else you think. And don't forget to help support us by subscribing and joining us on Patreon, by clicking on our Patreon link in the description box down below. Let the world know your thoughts on this. The National Post helped contribute to this report. Thanks for watching and goodbye from all of us here.